So, what have I been reading lately? Um, I used to read a lot, and for some reason, maybe phone business, doom scrolling business, and other things, reading went to the wayside. But I realized I've been doing quite a bit, so I thought I'd share with you a little bit about what I'm reading. Um, I recently finished this book about James Monroe, I believe, the fifth president of the United States. He was a character. There's always a secondary character in a lot of the other history books that I've read, and I always thought he was interesting. So it's great to read a book about his story. Also famous for the Monroe Doctrine, of course. While I was reading that, I've also been trying to read more poetry lately. As someone who's an aspiring singer songwriter, I think there's an importance of uh, keeping my mind fresh with poems and with different ways of using language and kind of unlocking pieces of my imagination by exploration, through exploration. So I read this, Good Poems by Garrison Keillor. It's basically a bunch of poems that were selected by Garrison Keillor. I went through and I marked all the ones that I liked. I put little dots next to so that I can maybe come back and just reread the book, but only with the ones I like, because some of them were quite interesting and moving for me. And then after reading the James Monroe, I needed to read some fiction because reality is a little heavy these days. So I thought to pick up a little whimsy, I would read The Hobbit. I found this, it went really, really quickly. It was a fun read, and it's good to be reminded that sometimes you just want to go back to your hobbit hole with your pipe and your nice warm fire and a good meal. It's good to be reminded to be joyful for those things. And then recently, a friend gave me this book. It's called The Mastery of Love. It's by Don Miguel Ruiz, and it's a very simple book. It puts things in very simple terms, but it's kind of philosophy, kind of mixed in with ancient wisdom. About take care of yourself, and if you take care of yourself, then you can be available for other people, and that's true in relationships as well as life in general, I guess. I don't know. All right, so I got through those. And then right now, what I'm reading is a book of poems by Leonard Cohen. Very interesting, uh, very saucy. It surprises me and it doesn't surprise me, right? If you are familiar with Leonard Cohen's songs, some of them are a little risque. So he's got a little bit of that in here, but it's also reflective on spiritual topics as well. And then another relationship book called Attached that was recommended to me. This is, I guess there's been a lot of studies done on attachment theory, it's called, and it's about how human beings relate to each other and interact with each other, and how those things will play out. So if you understand your attachment style, you might understand how the story might play out, unless you consciously work against those things. So this is me and my kind of self-searching, self-discovery. I've got other books lined up. I'm excited to get into some on like Norse mythology, Celtic mythology. Again, I see mythology as a form of poetry, and a way to kind of think about the larger ideas in life. And songwriting, I think, is full of archetypes and stories and things like that. So I'm delving in for inspiration to see what comes out of it. Anyway, that's what I'm reading now. I don't know if you find this interesting or not. Let me know, leave a comment or something if you think this is interesting, or just ignore it if you don't think it's interesting, and I'll get the hint. But I thought I'd share something other than music with you all. Okay, thank you.